I don't know about you, but it kind of turns me on when there's the man who's like a good looking man who is the most quietest man in the room. Like, it just kind of like, it makes you seem like a little bit more mysterious. And as a woman, we're naturally curious. So I feel like we just want to know more about that person.
Modern dating in 2026 has officially become performance art. People say they want honesty, communication, and real connections. But the second reality enters the conversation, everything falls apart. And the clips you're about to watch, they perfectly explain why more people are checking out of the dating market completely. Watch this carefully, because the contradictions here are insane.
How old are you?
35.
Are you single?
No.
You have a man.
I'm married, yes.
How long have you been married?
6 years.
How do you feel when a man comes up to you and compliments you when you're out on a girl's night?
I mean, good, of course. It feels nice to get compliments. Of course. Very nice.
Would you say that getting validation is part of the reason why you have girls' nights, or is it purely just something to do with your girls?
Purely just having fun with girlfriends. It's nice to have some time out. I have 2 little ones at home, so it's nice to just catch a break and have fun with some girlfriends.
You never feel like you go out after an argument with your husband to kind of
Get away from
Yeah.
people. I mean, sometimes it's nice to escape from that, but no, I mean, my house can be very hectic. I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I work full time, so it is nice to like sometimes just catch a break. But no, I mean, I do it just simply to be with my girlfriends.
So you value the home life more.
Yes, of course.
Let's say your husband says, you can't have any more girls' nights. Do you think that would be something you'd be willing to give up for him?
Yeah, but there would be no reason. I feel like in a healthy relationship, you should be able to be together and have your life together, but also be able to do things separately and like have your girls' nights or have a guy's night and just to bond with your friends. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
So if he said, babe, I'm going on a boys' trip to Medellin, Colombia, you're cool with it?
I don't know about Colombia. Depends on who's going and the destination.
But are you from Miami or?
No.
Okay, so you're here visiting.
Visiting, yeah.
Is your husband here too?
No.
So you can go to Miami, but he can't go to Colombia?
Well, I'm here with my sister-in-law, but no, I mean, we're celebrating her birthday. We're not doing anything wrong. We're just having a little girls' trip. But I don't know. Men in Colombia, I don't like the sound of that.
This idea of dating down and dating on your level stems from women. When men have money, they don't view it as dating down when they're with their women. You guys say that, not men.
Yep.
A man has money and he's taking care of a woman. There's no point that he thinks he's dating down. He's just taking care of his woman.
I think
I truly believe that men don't get enough credit for being as decent human beings as they are. We don't get praise for it often, but if you ever stop long enough to really think about it, men are dope as hell. Just look around in society. The evidence is everywhere. Men are typically better human beings than women are. We're more decent, our love is more genuine, and we're more selfless. We put women before we put our very lives. We put the family before we put our very lives. A woman that we love can be unhappy for whatever reason, and we'll hit the pavement to see what we can do to make her happy again. A woman, on the other hand, puts herself before the needs of the family until she collapses it and brings it to ruin. Why do you think the divorce rate is so high in America? 80% of the divorces filed in America are filed by the women. And if she's college educated, it bumps up to 90%, right? Ain't that something?
If you don't mind, I'm gonna break down some of the coldest game you ever heard in your life. Check out the mathematics on this. A broke woman always thinks that she's better than a broke man. But being broke generally may be a reflection of a number of things. Your EQ, your IQ, your personality, your skill set, your upbringing, your family circumstances. So a broke woman and a broke man should pretty much be equals. They should be able to date one another, but consistently the broke woman thinks she's too good for a broke man. And you'd have to say, well, gee, that doesn't quite add up. How does she have more value than the broke man if they're both broke? I mean, 0 and 0 are equal. But the reason that the broke woman thinks that she has more value is because she's counting her vagina. And she counts her vagina as like this big major value add. And the reason that she does that is because like subconsciously she views herself as a sex object and knows that her chief value is of the sexual variety. And in as much as that's the case, a broke woman and a broke man are not equal because she has the X factor of the vagina. So when you observe women saying that they put on makeup and they crush their ribs with these waist trainers and all this other stuff, and they say that they're doing that for themselves, no, they're not doing that for themselves. They're doing that to make themselves more desirable so that they can get the guy that really is better than they are. So when women say, I'm not an object, I'm not you are, and that's how you view yourself. And that's precisely why women who are broke don't want to date guys who are broke. And furthermore, women who are broke, they don't even identify as broke, which is the comical thing. Anyways, remember where you heard this game, because I'm sure the whole internet's going to run with it. You dig? It's the big homie, the one and only Fax Kellerman, Stephen A. Pimp, your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber, Marquette Devon Burton.
At Chick-fil-A, so she can use the bathroom. I say, well, we can go, because we late and I got to get some gas. You can go, well, I'm going to a new gas station. You can go use their restroom. She throws a fit because I won't make a extra stop so she can go use whatever bathroom she wants to use. Forget that you making me late. Forget that I got to get gas and I can say we can do one stop. No, she made that a big issue. And guess what the women did? That's your lady. You supposed to stop and do. You supposed to take her to a nice, pretty bathroom. I said, oh, so these women narcissistic. If you think that somebody is the stronger person, since you look at me as a man, because these women are not looking at me as a woman, because the way I carry myself, the way I speak, my assertiveness, these women look at me as a man. So they treat me like one.
Right.
So in their mind, I was supposed to bend over backwards and take her to a special gas station. I mean, a special place to use the bathroom. To hell with me making a logical decision to do a one-stop shop so we can get on the road. I was the villain then. You're a narcissist. You're a narcissist. Why didn't you take your girlfriend to go use that bathroom? Wow. I say, so this is what they dealing with?
Yes.
This?
Yes.
I say, I'm not getting no relationship to be no doggone slave and to cater to no egos, because women.
You don't even have to invite me on a second date. Open up your schedule for me. You don't want a man to turn into what you doing in the inbox, asking you how your day went every day. Open up your schedule for me. If you want me to plan dates, cool, I can do that. Show me the next 2 weeks of your schedule. I got Wednesday of next week free. I got Friday free. I'm allergic to shellfish. All right, big bet. What you did is you set your expectations and then you left me the ability to meet them.
Right.
Right? So you putting me in position to do my thing. But you also, that's where we hold each other accountable. I can't duck and dodge like, bro, you told me when you was free. You set the parameters of what you expected to do. You know what I'm saying? You said you was free Wednesday evening. I know I need to plan a dinner and some evening activities. You feel me? It's like, that's meeting somebody halfway. A lot of times, unfortunately, bro, when we get to talking the 50-50 conversation, when a man say he want 50-50, y'all always think that he wants you to go half on the bill. Ooh. He just wants to be appreciated.
It's a good question to ask.
That he's expected to put out, bro. It's like 50-50 don't always have to be do what I'm doing, feel the same role I'm feeling. It's like, no, bro. If I'm expected to do X, Y, and Z, you need to do A, B, and C. That's just reciprocity. That's all to expect, bro.
Women only seeing men for what they can produce financially, devaluing their character, setting herself above him. I measure everything against money. How much I should respect you, how much I should love you, what I think about you. I measure it against money. This is what happens when we have the priorities out of order, when someone loves money more than they love godly principle. I set myself above him, disrespecting him, patronizing, even abusing him because I'm angry when the man doesn't produce. I have a tendency to treat him worse. Some of y'all get abusive. You started treating him like he was less than. This is abuse. It's really something to be upset about. I can't imagine being a man having to even come into contact with that because of what I produce, you give yourself permission to mistreat me. So a lot of women need to get for real about that. how inappropriate, how unacceptable, how despicable that is. The way that you want men to take accountability for the way he mistreats you, women, I want you to take accountability for your tendency to the point where it's a consistency. Your consistent, negative, dysfunctional, even damn abusive behavior towards men, speaking down on them, treating them weird, treating them messed up, calling them names, verbally obliterating them. Because you've attached their worth to their money. When you hurt people like that, you got to stop leaning on all your crutches, talking about, well, it was what I saw. You need to apologize.
Do you ladies feel women are ready for emotionally intelligent men?
We're talking about you wanting a man who is tolerant, who regulates his emotions, who also knows how to manage your emotions. But you're also talking about a man who knows how to navigate his sensitivities. You have to consider that an emotionally intelligent man is good at cutting people off when he sees that your sensitivities bring too much reactivity. When he sees that you cannot regulate your emotions. When he sees that you have a low tolerance. This type of man that you are asking for is a man who will walk you out the door in a heartbeat. If he feels like you are disrupting his peace. If he feels like there's any level of disrespect, there's a lot that comes with emotional intelligence. So if you asking for that, you got to come with the same level of emotional intelligence. You're not always going to be accepted. Sometimes he's going to bounce back, and sometimes he's going to say, I don't agree with your opinion. Sometimes he's going to say, I don't like those thoughts. Sometimes he's going to say, I don't like the way you speak to me. If you're not ready for that, don't be asking for an intelligent man.
Men don't want to marry anymore because the risk outweighs the benefits. There's a risk that comes with marriage that essentially only benefits a woman. A man marries you and can only hope that one day you don't wake up and say, I feel like I don't love you anymore and I want to leave and you can't do anything about it. According to ASA, 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women. Among college-educated women, it jumps to 90%. You know what's crazy? I mean, a lot of us women don't have anything a man actually wants that we can bring to the table.
I went on a first date, and when I opened the door, my man was at my front door, and I was like, oh, like, right? And then he hit me with the Rico. He pulled the flowers out, and I was like, wow, this is different, right? So I'm not even paying attention. I brush past this, trying to walk down the steps and get to the door, right? Because I'm not paying attention. I'm just so not used to it, and it just hasn't, like, I just didn't have a lot of practice. He opened my car door. I get inside. He closed the door. I immediately went to my group chat. It's weird. Did you say he opened your car door?
High five.
No. Now let me explain, right? Let me explain. By the time we got to the restaurant, my follow-up text was, y'all, that's my bad. I just realized and all that stuff we be talking about, we don't really want it. And I felt like he technically did everything that we be saying we be wanting. In my mind, instinctively, my first thought was he corny. But he really did everything that we want. But
a man knows that you don't respect him because there's no peace in the relationship. You think that he's not loving, not pleasant, not kind, not giving. No, he is reacting to the disrespect. We all know that men would rather be respected than loved. And to a man, love without respect is straight up fake. When you respect him, he thrives. When you speak into him, trust his decisions, acknowledge his effort, he will love you endlessly. When he feels disrespected, he shuts down, he pulls back his kindness, he is not pleasant, and he will not give you the best of him. So if your man is moving wild right now and the relationship feels cold and there's no peace, check the respect first. That's because he knows that you don't respect him. And when a man feels that way, the love doesn't matter anymore. Women stay for love and men stay for respect. So if you want his love, start with respect.
Courting isn't common anymore. And there's a lot of research to the reason why it's not. Like, financially speaking, back in the days, you know, men work, women did not.
Yeah.
So courting was very common. But now, like, everybody works. And sometimes the women make more money.
Yeah.
So courting looks different. However, don't let that deter you.
Okay.
Because it can still be chivalrous. It can still be romantic. But it doesn't have to be like one person chasing the other all the time.
Okay.
We're in 2025, egalitarianism is quite common.
Yeah.
So being a woman who's single and is like going on dates with men, I hope that, you know, your only thing isn't like, are they pursuing me? Because it should be reciprocal.
Yes.
Like, you should also show interest. You should also say, like, you know, thank you and you appreciate it. You should also give them compliments.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah. I think the best thing you can do on a date if you want more courtship is to make men feel masculine. Is to never emasculate men and always like lift them up and make them feel successful, feel masculine, feel like they can do anything.
Yes.
Give them a lot of compliments and then they'll be courting you. It's quite easy.
Someone please take me off the market forever. I don't like this single shit. I don't like it.
If he's like a little like awkward, a little weird, He will rock your world.
He will. Oh my God! He will clap your cheeks.
The
till they
neighbors
are
will be
purple.
complaining.
Third.
He will rock your world.
He will. Oh my God! He will clap your cheeks.
The
till they
neighbors
are
will be
purple.
complaining.
Yeah.
Quiet guys are in. I am wanting to find the most nonverbal person in the venue. I am looking for the quietest, mutest person at the function, and that one's mine, okay? I'm over the big frat guys, like, being like crazy at dinner, throwing themselves on tables, being scary and loud and like hurting my eardrum. Like, I'm looking for the guy that is doing sign language in the back.
I hate when I see a man that's so fine and then I pass him and he doesn't say anything. Like when people say, oh, girls don't shoot their shot. Yes, they do. If I look at you like this, like say you walking this way and I'm walking like this, and if I look at you like this, that's me shooting my shot. Come say something.
Hey, yo, this tweet is bad accurate, bro. Chicks will really stare at you like this and consider it flirting. Now I see why a lot of you be too prideful to shoot your shot. Talking about, oh no, because I'm the catch. Men are supposed to chase. Shorty, your ass just ain't got no game. You ain't got to sugarcoat it and do all the extra. We already hit. But what bothers us is the fact that y'all will come to us and act like we missed some obvious sign. Talking about, how can you tell that I liked you? You didn't see how I looked at you? Shorty, you mean when you was staring at me like LeBron in Game 6? I couldn't tell if you wanted me or you was about to give me 40.
Yeah, so did I.
The catch is...
Yeah, so did I. Do you think you want to come back to my place now for some dessert?
Huh?
I was thinking a cream pie.
I like this one.
Would you rather date this guy who's like really silent, like he doesn't show his emotions, he doesn't care about the outside world, he's just like whatever, but he's like super hot and handsome, obviously. So he's almost like a brick, like he's just like a wall.
I have a question for my ladies and my fellas too. Ladies, do y'all shoot your shot at men? Like in the DMs, if you were out at a bar, like would you just go up and approach them?
Bro, I love quiet men so much. Because like they're so cool, calm, and content in person, and they're just like let you have the spotlight or whatever. But then in the bedroom, bro, like you know what I mean. You know they show you who's fucking boss in that moment. In that I'm getting all hot right now.
Hey, why are you walking?
I'm at that hotel at the end.
You're not from here?
No, I'm from Arkansas.
Oh, what you doing out here?
Work.
Work?
Yeah, I had to deliver out here or whatever.
You drive trucks?
Yeah.
Cool. You have an Instagram?
Yeah, definitely. Pull up. I'm gonna come down.
Okay. Got him. We got him. I'm fast. What's
Nick?
Nick.
Yeah,
I'm Kimberly.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Do this all the time?
No. I was just in traffic. I was in traffic and I was like, why is that fine black man walking across the street? There's no way, like, that is a pedestrian. Like, what's going on?
How old are you, love?
I'm 33.
Damn, when your birthday?
How old are you?
When your birthday?
July 2nd, 91.
That is insane.
When's your birthday? When's your birthday? What?
Rejected.
Ain't nothing in this world more attractive than a humble, quiet man. Quiet. I do not like a dude that's out here loud and boisterous and gotta be the center of attention.
So I have always been attracted to the guy that doesn't get noticed. For some reason, those guys stick out the most to me. I never liked the guy that was in the crowd, that was in the mix, that females flock to. Like, no, because I felt like I'm gonna get played. You know, like something about it just wasn't right.
The most attractive men in this world, oddly enough, are single and handsome, but they sit at home all day. They ignore text messages. They don't post on social media. And when a girl looks at them, they give her this look.
I'm having to build my bed by myself, and I don't give a fuck what y'all say. We need men. We need men. I'm never falling for the propaganda that we do not. I'm not getting on board. I'm never supporting that.
I'm an exhausted single mother living in California, paying $2,000 for rent, and I feel like I am drowning. I am drowning in debt.
As I've gotten older, I find calm men so attractive. This is probably like one of my biggest green flags. Like a calm man with calm energy. I am just like, oh my God. Like you are so in control right now. You are so poised. You are so graceful. Because I've obviously been around psychopaths. Because I've obviously been around psychopaths my entire life. Men who will literally scream and yell, punch things, throw things. I'm like, are you feeling okay? That's my job. What the fuck are you doing?
Bitch, I never seen no shit like that in life. That's what's wrong with me now. That shit fuck with my PTQRSD, whatever that shit is, and I can't get that shit out my fuck.
I know you guys know the feeling, but you know, when you're 30 years old and you're single and you're like trying to put yourself out there, and your friends are all married.
I really like my men quiet and like low key. Like it could be a group of people like around me, laughing and kikiing, having conversations, but I don't be wanting y'all. I want the one that's real quiet and the one that's not engaging in no conversation. Like
if she says you're such a good guy, she's not complimenting you. She's closing that door. When a woman says these things, she's trying to keep access to your validation without giving you that commitment. Translation is, you make me feel good about myself, but I'm not choosing you.
I just want to say to some of y'all ladies, start slapping these men. Start slapping the fuck out of these men. Start slapping some motherfucking sense into their asses. Because you know what? A lot of these men need to be slapped. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times men need to be disciplined. And don't be scared. Oh, if I slap him, he gonna hit me back. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. And if he hit you back, you know what to do. But start slapping the fuck out of these men to slap some motherfucking sense into their asses. Get their asses to act right. Because one thing I won't deal with in a man is bitch assness. I don't like softness in no man. So start slapping the fuck out of these men.
But the thing is that if you don't have what I need, I'm not going to waste your time by even pretending that you have a chance. I'm not even going to accept gifts, money, the things that I've been offered, homes, cars. If I have no intention of being with you, I can't do it. I can't use people.
Right.
For me, that's using a man.
No,
right? If I have no
sense.
intention of that, I'm not going to accept that from you. I don't want to hurt you like that.
Yeah.
So
No. That's honorable because a lot of people aren't like that on either side.
Yeah.
5 ways women lose a good man and how you can avoid it. Let's get into it, ladies. Number 1, taking them for granted. A man been so good to you for so long, you no longer see the value in him and what he does for you. Number 2, not communicating well or effectively, like expecting a man to read your mind and getting mad when he can. Number 3, being dismissive about how your behavior makes him feel, or becoming overly defensive when you're being held accountable for your action. Rumor has it that women struggle with accountability. Number 4, being self-consumed and unwilling to compromise. Being so hyper-focused on your laundry list of needs, desires, wants, that you neglect his needs in the process. Remember, a relationship is not just about you or one person getting their needs met. And number 5, allowing your unaddressed trauma, your insecurity, make it hard for that man to enjoy his life and pursue his purpose in peace. Becoming insufferable.
What do you feel is a decent amount to spend on the first date?
Oh, I don't think it matters.
What? You don't think it matters?
No.
The internet is going to come for you heavily for this.
I think these girls that feel like the date that they take you on defines the man that they chose, they're full of crap. It's absolute BS. I think that it's a woman that's looking for the bigger, better deal, that has the audacity to say, I can't believe you want to bring me to the Cheesecake Factory. A lot of these dating scammers that literally go on a date every night just to be able to eat something, you're lucky you're eating tonight because you probably can't afford to do it yourself. These men don't give money, they give bags these days, and you can't eat that. So be grateful that you got some food. And be grateful that a man put in enough effort to take you somewhere. And that's the problem. I personally feel like that's the problem with today's day and age. Like, a lot of men are becoming lazy in dating. They're becoming lazy in the pursuit because there's no appreciation for what they do. And now women have these super high entitlement level thoughts that they deserve to be brought to freaking Bora Bora on their first date. And it's like, who are you to even ask for that? What value have you brought to that man? It's audacity. It's the audacity for me.
Audacity for me.
And on top of that, you should want to be friends with the person that you're choosing anyway. If I don't like you, I'm not going on a trip with you. I'm sorry, but Instagram photos on, no. Homegirl, be grateful that man put in some effort. And you know what? The more appreciation that you choose, the better treatment you'll get.
Bar.
That's what I think.
Bars.
I don't think the amount of money matters. I think that just do something that you like. If that man likes you, you like to go, take me salsa dancing. It's free on Wednesday nights before 10 o'clock. And then it's $10 to get in. And I would love that. Buy me a bottle of water because it does get hot and I do sweat, you know, or let's go for a walk in the park. Or let's sit in a car and eat ice cream and talk about aliens. You know, like whatever it may be. But that's because are you out here just trying to go on nice dates? Or are you out here trying to get to know a person for partnership in life?
I wish I could just microphone drop.
I'm serious.
You went off. I'm just over here.
I'm just frustrated.
I know you saw how I was looking at you. I was just like, she's just going off.
I'm frustrated because women are ruining good men by acting like they deserve more than they do.
Damn.
A lot of these women out here really don't have nothing coming.
Damn. How do you... Okay. Well, Jesus Christ.
At least that was a straight answer.
Right.
We didn't dance around that one.
There's not going to be a lot of modern women that want to hear this, but nevertheless, it's true.
Women think they have a lot of options because there's a bunch of thirsty men in their DMs or they're getting approached on the street. But what they don't realize is those aren't real options. They just want to fuck you. How many of those dudes would introduce you to their family, would give you their last name, would have their own family with you, would invest in you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and be there for you on your worst days? A lot of women think they're high value because a bunch of thirsty dudes are trying to take them on dates, when in reality, those men only want to take you out in hopes that you give them some at the end of the night. Y'all talk about how y'all can keep any man you want, but you've never had a man that was actually committed to spending the rest of his life with you and willing to build something of actual true substance with you. When you have a bunch of men that are willing to do that for you, then you could talk to me about having options.
We have 20 times as many options as women in the same category. What happens is a woman is dating a guy who she thinks is really good looking, smart or whatever, and she doesn't realize how many other women are trying to get with that same guy. Answer for your friends. Just think of your 5 closest friends. Age. What is the age range do you think your friends would be attracted to?
35, 45.
I have to ask this. We're excluding married men. They can't pick for married men.
No, it's not good.
We don't care what race, or is there a particular race?
No.
We don't care what race.
No.
We're going to pick any race. What is too short for the guy?
Minimum 5'10".
We're excluding obese men, correct?
Like, let's be honest, guy. Who wants to date a fat man?
Okay, but he's got to be 5'10", right?
Yeah.
And he's between the age of 35 and 45, and he's not obese, right? Ready? Here's another one. Be honest, not you, your friends. Minimum income. See, look on her face.
100K.
100K.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're talking about a man who is 35 to 45. He's not married. Okay, so we're excluding all married men. We're excluding we're excluding anyone under 5'10". We're excluding obese men, and we're excluding men that make under $100,000 a year. Now, so my question for you is, what percentage of men in the United States do you think that is?
40%?
40% of men?
Yeah.
It's less than 1% of men. Now, here's the thing. All these ladies that you just spoke about, they have to choose from less than 1%.
Do you feel like being in the industry, dating has gotten harder for you, or do you feel like it's just easier? I mean, obviously you got your pick of the litter, so.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? It's like I be having hope for certain people, and then they show me just why. I'm so like, my discernment, my boundaries, all this shit is set so meticulous that I can see when you could do the smallest shit to make me be like, that's not a genuine person.
I don't understand why you wouldn't want a woman like me. I am successful, I'm rich, I can fight. If you can't be with my peace, you can be with the door. Oh, you're in your masculine area. Well, why don't you get in yours? Sick of men telling me, oh, well, you know, you hardcore. Yes, I am. Well, I am the table.
Yeah, she's saying all the wrong things, and it's apparent why you single. The question that she asked at the beginning, she don't understand why she's single. You just explain why you single.
Everything was a role of a man. A man is masculine. A man is a provider. She said, I got money. That's a man's job. Those are 3 things that women look for in a man. She didn't name a quality that a man would look for in a woman. At the end of the day, you're describing a man, and men don't want to date men.
Men are tired of getting rejected for the dumbest reasons, right? Right? You meet a girl and you go out, everything's going great. You got a job, right? You're a nice guy, just objectively a good human, right? You got a pretty good car, you live in your own apartment, no roommates, right? And you happen to show up on the date wearing brown shoes. And she's, everything's great, but she can't date a guy who wears like brown shoes, right? I mean, this is happening, right? There are guys that are checking box after box after box and getting rejected for the stupidest, dumbest things. And they're so tired of the game.
Oh, they fumbled me. No, the two of you shouldn't be together, and no one should be with you for real. No really great person should be with you. That's most people who are getting up in a relationship and breaking up. It's not usually that it's a really great person that has broken up with a really high quality person with a low quality person. So it's not the high and lows constantly getting together and splitting. No, it's low and low getting together and splitting. The delusion is when you break up and you don't get the feedback and you don't reflect well enough, you think it was high and low, and you assigned yourself the high position. So you delude yourself in thinking that people are fumbling you, that you're the better match when you just as low as them. It was two lows getting together and splitting up, not a high and a low, and you not the high one, you the low one too. And that's why you have a string of these people. That's why you have a string of them. You don't even think well of them. You got reflections of yourself coming back at you, but you assigned yourself a higher position than them because you think that you're a better person. You think you're a better match. You're not, though. That's not normally what it is. That's not the majority of time. Majority of time we had two lows and they didn't realize that they were lows. And they deluded themselves thinking they were high. So now we have two delusional people walking out in the world going back into the dating market with a delusional idea about who they are and how good they are and how attractive they are to other people. So when that keeps happening, well, now we have the P in the dating pool. We've got a bunch of delusional people pairing up with each other, and the minority of them believe that they have work to do to get what they want. But the majority of people have a lot of work to do to get what they want. You see how crazy this is? You see why this is so stupid? Why people are so tired, fatigued, and drained? They have the wrong information about themselves. They got the wrong information about the person in front of them. People are just walking around with a lot of misinformation, especially and first and foremost, misinformation about themselves.
So this is a PSA for all of the modern women out there. So I just want you guys to know that the dating phase is not just for a man to prove to you that he's worthy of your time, but it's also for you to prove to him as a woman that you're worthy of his time as well too. That you can actually bring value to his life and something other than your looks and what's in between your legs. Hate to break it to you. Also, a lot of y'all think, oh, I have a whole bunch of options anyway. And what winds up happening is y'all have this false narrative that y'all play in y'all head over and over again that I have a whole bunch of options, so I don't care if he, doesn't want to do what I want him to do during the dating phase. Out of the 10 options that you may have, maybe one of them might actually want to take you seriously. We're not going to act like we got 10 options of husbands that's just waiting to marry us. Okay, so I need y'all to be a little bit more realistic because y'all be in Delulu land, delusional. Also, I also want to put y'all on game as well too. When a man is actually pursuing you seriously, just know that during the dating phase, that means that you should not be sleeping around or entertaining other men during that time as well too. This should be common sense, but you would be surprised how many women will be sleeping around with multiple men and dating all these men and then wonder why they confused. Yeah, that's a no-go. And if the man find out, you're done.
Listen, the biggest mistake a woman can make is taking a good man for granted, all because she believes she has options. Let's make something clear. Just because you've got men in your DMs doesn't mean any of them love you. Don't get it twisted, ladies. Attention is not affection, and desire is not devotion. A real man, listen, the kind of man that truly loves you, he's not easy to find, because that type of man, he listens to you, he protects you, he believes in you, he invests in your growth, and he stays consistent even when you're not at your best. But you know what happens many times? You know what we do as women many times? We don't play him. We compare him to the flashy guys. We compare him to the emotionally unavailable men. Sometimes they insult him, ignore him, manipulate him, treat him like he'll always be there until he's no longer there. And then when he finally walks away, that's when the realization kicks in. That's when you realize the truth. Those men in your inbox, they weren't really trying to build anything. They were just passing time. And now, the one who was ready to give you the world is gone. Listen, ladies, don't be fooled. Gifts aren't love. Sex isn't commitment. And good morning, beautiful, and those texts from strangers don't mean that you're being cherished. Sis, you can find a man who wants your body on every street. But a man who wants your soul, who wants to help you heal, who wants to build a future with you, that type of man is very rare. So if you've got a man who's consistent, who supports you, who corrects you in love, who forgives you, who invests in you and stays loyal when things aren't perfect, protect that man at all costs. Appreciate him. And stop playing games, sis. Because even the strongest man has a breaking point. And you know what? The biggest regret is realizing that you lost something that was real. You lost something that was valuable because you didn't value it when you had it in your hands.
You don't like challenges?
When it comes to dating, no, I don't.
You're just
Sorry.
self-admitting and not being an alpha.
I
Even
don't-
in history, men were the ones who wanted a challenge, who wanted to go out there and accomplish something. That's what makes some relationships more exciting and for the guys to keep pursuing, because if it was safe and stable,
Nah.
it kind of gets boring.
No. First off, we're talking about dating. I absolutely engage in challenging things when it comes to my business, when it comes to all that. I'm not shying away from challenge. When it comes to dating, Proverbs 21:19, better to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome and nagging wife. I don't want my partner to be a challenge. I don't want to date a girl who's playing hard to get, because if you play hard to get, you quickly become hard to want.
This next video perfectly explains why relationships today feel completely unstable, and honestly, it's hard to argue against it.